Dominik Bagchi, considered by many undersized, and I'm sure he's probably sick of hearing that. Brock Purdy was too. He's undersized. You know what? Brock Purdy's playing in the NFL. He's putting up huge numbers, and the Bobcats are atop the Metro Conference after a 21-14 win over North High to go 3-1. And the senior gunslinger is kind enough to join me this morning. Dom, it's Kevin McCabe. How are you this morning?
Hi, Kevin. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Hey, okay, you guys played a Thursday night game. And I always want, you have a Friday night off during the season. I don't get any Friday nights off during the season. I'm out there reporting. What do you do on a Friday night off when you don't have a game? What do you kick it with the fellas? Do you hang out? Do you play video? Do you go to another? What does Dom Bagchi do when you get a Friday night off during the season?
So yeah, kind of we did a little bit of both. A little bit of all of that, actually. So first we had film and a little lift after school from the Thursday night game, which was kind of like a little blast from the past, having to do film after school. And then a couple of the guys on the team went to go eat, and then I went home and we watched TV and we watched some of the Chandler and Saguaro game.
Oh, there you go. All right. So okay, I love it. It's in your blood. And is it, and I say this, Dom, is it weird varsity playing a Thursday night game? Because I know that used to be for JV, but because of officials, they moved some. Did you like playing a Thursday night game? Did you changing up the schedule, or was it tough jamming the game prep into a short week?
Yeah, honestly, I was not a huge fan of the Thursday night game. I'd rather play on Fridays, especially with like the shorter week. Definitely was like a different vibe and different to prepare a little bit. But I mean, you kind of got to do what you got to do. So I'm grateful we got to get the game in at the worst. I mean, if they're having problems with officials. So
yeah, they got it going. All right. And I always ask this question too, because now you play Thursday night, you go to school, and then you got to go to school the next day, which is, I know you're a good student, but still you got to wake up and go to school. A Saturday morning, now you didn't have a practice or a game or film or weights, and you didn't have school. If you could have slept in today, what time would you have slept to if you would just hung out in the bed and watched TikToks? What time would Mom, I need some food. What time would you roll out of bed today?
I probably wouldn't have slept in past like 8:30. I'm not really a huge sleep-in guy.
Oh, you can come over. You can come over to my house anytime and wake up my kids. Okay, Dominik Bagchi. Okay,
good.
You get the big win over North High, the Mustangs, on Thursday night, Metro Conference. It was a battle of two quarterbacks, and I don't want to make that bigger than it is, but that's what runs football. Luke Haugo, I know it's a team game, but do you like it when you get to measure up against another quarterback? And I think you guys know each other. Do you like that whole scenario when it's painted out like that?
Yeah, so obviously I love to go up against the best competition possible, and like playing other quarterbacks is always a blast because like it's kind of like a chess match almost,
sure,
or like a duel. And yeah, I've known Luke for a while. We played football together for a while, so he's a great quarterback, great person. So it was actually more of a defensive game, though, to be honest, which was probably a little surprising to some people. But, yeah, both defenses probably played really well. Our defense did a fantastic job containing their explosive offense. So,
well, that's
it was definitely an interesting game.
Yeah, well, but listen, I'm talking offense because offense gets all the girls. Defense wins the championships. I always say defense wins championships and offense gets the chicks. So, Breon Ballard, a sophomore, who are some of your weapons that are helping? And I always ask this too, do they make you or do you make them? And I won't let you define that, but who are some of those weapons that are helping you guys, the Bobcats, return to glory that you had back in the 70s?
Yeah, no, so that's kind of what makes us different this year. There's so many weapons all over the field. Like, obviously, Breon Ballard, he's had a pretty ridiculous sophomore season to start off.
He's just a sophomore, Dom. Come on now. He's just a sophomore. There you go. But that's kind of blowing. I love that. I love seeing young kids grow up because now they're coming in and on the stage. But who else is rocking for you guys?
So he's a stud, and then we've had two seniors have really stepped up this year at receiver, especially Quentin Conley didn't really play receiver that much last year, but this year he's done a lot better at the outside. He's kind of also a force to be wary of when you're on defense. And then Connor Rogue Brown is killing it in the slot as well, and also playing like a tight end, hybrid H-back. So those three have been doing really well. And then like even other than that, like even like the the other receivers, like CJ had an 80-yard touchdown against North. Izzy had like 100 yards against North Canyon. Like everyone kind of steps up, everyone makes plays, and that's kind of what makes us different this year versus last year. You remember Carter Allen? Like
Yep.
it was like we had a good passing game, and like other guys stepped up, but it was pretty much like the Carter show.
Oh, yeah.
Versus this, and like teams would start to game plan for him. So this year it's a lot harder because we have so many different receivers. I mean, Breon actually has a brother too, who's also a stud.
I love hearing this about my Central High Bobcats. All right, playing for Coach Chandler Hovick, and you came over from Notre Dame Prep, made the move, and joined him there. How much has he helped you in your growth? Because he's a great teacher of the game, great passion. How much has that helped you with Chandler Hovick?
Oh yeah, Coach Hovick has been like a blessing for me. Like he's almost like, I feel like he's a kind of like older version of me, because he's not only like a great teacher, great coach, but he's a great person. Like you can always talk to him whenever you need anything. He's always there. He puts a lot of effort and passion in these kids, and you could tell he really loves his job. And he's done a lot for this program. So super grateful to have met him, and super like blessed to have him in my life.
I love hearing that too, because again, it's not all about X's and O's. It's about how you deal with. And I'm going to talk about that with Sean Aguano here in a couple of minutes, because you guys play the game, but it's dealing with everything else. Okay, I mentioned this, Dominik Bagchi, measuring up. You put up all these great numbers: 800 yards, 9 TDs, couple of picks, and everyone is always saying, "What about his size? He's 5'9", 170." But I've done this show a long time. I remember Brock Purdy. And does that fuel you when you hear that you have to prove more people wrong? Do you say, okay, let's go, or do you ignore that kind of stuff?
So like it does help, it does feel, but I mean, it's gotten to the point where it's understandable. Like it's understandable why people make those question marks and have those questions, because it is like that's a valid question. It's a valid point. However, it does help fuel me, because like I feel like I do a lot more for being my size, and like,
yeah,
if I was bigger, obviously it would help, but like,
this is who you are, baby. This is who you are. You're not 6'5", but
exactly.
you're still. Hey, your hopes. You're killing it in the classroom too there at Central High. 4.3. I know that's really important. What are your hopes of playing at the next level? I mean, because you're going to be challenged, people are going to say, "Oh, I don't take a shot at you." Would you love the opportunity at D1, Ivy League? What's the future for you at quarterback?
So we're looking at some schools. Like I said earlier, mostly academically based, some Ivy League schools, some of the lower service academies like the Merchant Marine Academy, Wash U. So like we're kind of looking at those options, and then I'm also kind of in the middle of my application for the regular service academies at West Point and Naval Academy. So we'll see on that. I don't really know yet, but
well, I'd love
we
whatever.
can definitely keep you updated.
No, and I love it. I love your. It's been fun to watch your story. Your family, your dad runs a great youth program. He pumps your tires pretty good on social media, which I love that. He's a great dad. Your mom, how important?
Yes,
but he does it for all of his kids, not just you. And I love that. And I see you out there working with the younger kids too. And I think that's so awesome. How important has your family been in this entire journey?
Oh, my family's been key. Obviously, the most important. They kept me grounded throughout the whole thing, and like hands down, like the best family that I could have asked for. Like there's nothing they could have done anything different.
Oh man,
they've always kept me grounded. They've kept balance in my life. It's just been the best thing ever.
Did they make you empty the dishwasher and take out the trash still? Or did you have to do those kind of things?
Oh, of course.
Okay,
no.
good. All right, Dom.
Of course, even after Thursday night.
All right, no special.
I got to clean the dishes. Take care of the dog.
Hey, my man, I don't know you personally, but I've watched your story, and I dig it. I watched you in sevens, and I see you somebody with great leadership skills and great talent. I want you to get the shot, and it's so neat to you delivering there at Central High School. Keep up the good work. You're 3-1, and there's some special things happening with the Bobcats. Keep in touch, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Dominik Bagchi, Dom Bagchi, the quarterback for Central High School. Guys, you don't understand. The Central High was it. It was all that and a bag of chips when it was groovy back in the 70s, winning state championships with Ray Lang. And it's neat to have them back on top and in the conversation and a part of this show, and to see young men like that. All right. What does it mean for an Arizona high school football coach